The next 9 days are make or break for both of these teams. The Bees and the Raiders meet for the first of 2 appearances over the next weekend, with the playoff spots very much on the line. The Bees have 5 games over the next 9 days, 4 of which are against teams in and around them in the playoff table. The Raiders twice before the Solway Sharks are in town as well. I'm joined tonight by Tom Graham, and Tom, we're at the end of the season almost. 5 of the 8 playoff spots are taken. Tonight is massive for both these teams.
Yeah, it's huge. As you say, 5 spots have gone already. There's, obviously the 3 more spots, and there's kind of only, there's 4 teams in that realistically in that mix now, and there's, it's huge for both teams tonight. It's 2 points, as we can see the table here. 2 points is massive at this stage of the season. Even, particularly with this game in hand being, or for both teams, this being the game in hand they've got over both Solway and Telford. Yeah, as Todd says, obviously, the top 5 of everyone from Leeds down to Peterborough are already in. They've booked their spots. Telford in 6 on 47 could get that sorted this weekend. They play Solway on Sunday. The Bees and the Raiders currently sit 7th and 8th, but they have a 3-point gap over the Sharks. Whoever wins tonight, obviously, 5 points clear of the drop zone, essentially, with the Bees going up to Scotland on Saturday. Leeds Knights are 1 point away from a second successive league title. They could either do it with an overtime loss or a win tomorrow night in Milton Keynes, or, God forbid, on Sunday against the Bees at the Castle. Tom, you can say 3 spots left, 4 teams realistically in it. Sheffield are almost out, Bristol confirmed out. The Bees really have to feel like it's all in their hands. 3-point advantage is massive with 7 games to go. Yeah, and they've got games. They've got 2 games. They've got obviously tonight against the Raiders, who are in Solway tomorrow. If you can get 3 or 4 points out of those 2 games, then that's a huge step. The flip side is, if you lose both of these games, it's not fatal for your chances, but it's very, very bad news with not that many games left in the season to make up a bad weekend. Well, here are the teams going into tonight and to try and battle for that playoff spot. Firstly, your home side, the TSI World Bees, they line up. 2, Adam Rossbottom. 5, Ollie Nags. 9, Vanya Antonov. 11, Zane McKenzie. 17, Harry Harkup. 18, Ryan Webb. 19, Will Stead. 21, Marcel Balaz. 23, Dominic Gabai. 24, Dan Rose. 27, Josh Smith. 29, Gianni Vitali. 65, Harvey Stead. 73, Ed Bradley. 74, Liam Morris. 75, Brendan Baird. 94, Stuart Mogg. And netminders 36, Brett Shepherd. 44, Brithan Priest. Tom, arguably the big news for the Bees tonight will be Marcel Balaz fit enough to play this weekend. And as we were downstairs talking to bench coach Bill Webb, we also got the big news. Vanya Antonov will play all 3 games this weekend. Yeah, that's big, obviously. There was obviously concern around Marcel Balaz, given he left the game last weekend and against the Milton Keynes Lightning and didn't play the kind of second and third periods in that game. And so it's obviously big that he's able to play. It's big that Vanya Antonov is able to travel. Obviously, he's not someone who's always able to make the away games because of life outside of hockey does exist, believe it or not. So yeah, it's big, obviously, to be in a relative position of strength with the lineup in terms of having the majority of the team going to be available for these next kind of 2-3 big games. Well, this game obviously isn't just one side. The Raiders are in town and they line up as follows. 5, Joe Tomlin. 8, Brinley Caps. 10, Brandon Ayliffe. 11, Tom Ralph. 12, Mikey Power. 13, Elliot Dewey. 14, Jack Cooper. 18, Marco Pascale. 19, George Norcliffe. 24, Zach Milton. 29, Jake Sylvester. 63, Aaron Connolly. 81, Adam Leishram. 86, Jesper Eriksson. 91, Coy Prevo. 95, Jacob Ranson. 98, TJ Anderson. Netminders 32, Michael Gray. 39, Ethan James. Bench coach Sean Easton. Not icing tonight, Callum Wells. We haven't had it confirmed, but we believe it's a suspension from talking to Andrew Day downstairs. He thinks that's what it is. No Brad Winderbank, he is also with us. So is Matt Smith all in the building. And no Blahislav Novak. Tom, for the Raiders, obviously, TJ Anderson has been somewhat of a revelation. I think it's 22 goals, I want to say, as I try and check it, 22. And 5 of them have come in this building already this year. Ethan James has been big in net. The interesting one, as we noticed in the warm-up, Coy Prevo is playing forward tonight. Yeah, he's done both of that this year for the Raiders. I've watched him a couple of times, being a Swindon fan myself. And yeah, he's played 1 game as a forward in Swindon, and he scored a couple of goals. He played 1 game on D and was solid back there. So that versatility from an import is really, really useful for the Raiders. particularly having a guy that not only is clearly defensively responsible as a forward, but is able to move into that D position as well. As you say, TJ Anderson, he's had a breakout season. I think we all perhaps suspected that was going to happen with his showing at Coventry last year, but yeah, he's obviously had the breakout year, and on their day the Raiders can beat anyone. They're a really strong side. They obviously made the playoff final last year. They're going to be desperate to make sure they at least get into the top 8 again this year to have a chance to repeat that run.
Well, these two teams have met 4 times already in the league. It is 2-2. The series is split with 2 to play. The Raiders sit in 7th only on goal difference, as it's the next tiebreaker. The officials have joined us on the ice for this evening. The officials this evening are referees Mr. Hugh Poulton and Mr. Tim Pickett, with linesmen Mr. Guy Davis and Mr. Jason Earl. There are 2 other games on tonight as well, as the league continues to play catch-up. I have already had this discussion. Bees Raiders was always planned for this Friday night. It was always in the books. We also have the Bristol Pitbulls versus the Hull Seahawks. That faces off at 7 o'clock, just like us. And the Sheffield Steel Dogs take on the Swindon Wildcats at 7:30 up north. Tom, call yourself a fan. Anything to get an easy night out.
Yeah.
We will, of course, bring you score updates as and when we can, because Tom is never without his phone and Twitter. We'll bring that as and when they go in. As we're just waiting on the Raiders. Obviously, the Bees wearing their white shirts tonight because they need to wear black tomorrow in Solway, and then it's, I think, back to white again in Leeds on Sunday. So it means they can actually get a wash in before they go up to Scotland. I think first thing tomorrow morning. Don't quote me on this. I think it's 8:30 they go up.
That's fun after a 7 o'clock face-off on a Friday night.
The Raiders are coming out wearing their warm-up jerseys, so they will be in black tonight. Mercifully, of course, they do have white numbering on the back, which makes our life so much easier from up here.
At least we're not going to have any colour clashes.
No, this is important.
No fun jersey changes or anything like that needed tonight.
As we just await Brithen Priest to lead the Bees out. 2 points are on the line. Someone is jumping up or staying into 7th by 10 o'clock this evening. And one team is going to be one step closer to booking a playoff spot. The other will have work to do in the final 3 weeks of this regular season. Thank you for joining us. If you've made it back home in time to catch the stream, not necessarily made it to Slough. Obviously, run for the Slough, quite difficult on a Friday night. It was bad enough just getting into the rink this earlier. So thank you for joining us. Hope you enjoy your evening as Brithen Priest leads out the Bees in a second, hopefully. Me and Tom will be back in about 2 minutes' time following the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please be outstanding vehicles to New York Headwear National Anthem. Pleasantries out the way.
2 points, all that matters for both teams tonight. Your starting netminders, firstly, for the TSI World Bees, if anyone else could have guessed it, it's Brithen Priest. 18, 18 and 3 on the season, an 883 save percentage, 4.15 goals against average in 2,271 minutes in the crease, and obviously came up big with 2 saves in the shootout victory last Sunday over the Milton Keynes Lightning. Speaking of big performances on Sunday, at the other end for the Raiders, it's Ethan James in goal. He comes into tonight 13, 14 and 6, an 881 save percentage, 3.84 goals against average in 1,874 minutes, and that includes 1 shutout which he got on Sunday in the Raiders' 8-0 mauling of the Bristol Pitbulls. Tom, in terms of netminding battles, both these goalies are capable of phenomenal evenings. It's who, if any of them, has an off night tonight, I guess.
Yeah, obviously the netminders are both going to have a big part to play in tonight's game. Obviously, at the end of the day, it comes down to the players in front of them as well. But yeah, both of them are capable of winning a game on any given night. Yeah, so it should be a fairly interesting matchup, I would say. Obviously, 2 teams who are very evenly matched, as the table shows.
The table shows, all of the stats really show it. There's not much to split these 2 teams, and we'll be perfectly fine tonight as long as no one mentions 10.
Yeah, it took me a moment.
We've tried to scrub that one out of our memory. Now getting death glared by the producers. That's always a good sign. As referee Tim Pickett calls them in. And we are underway with period number 1 as Don Gabai wins the opening puck drop. Bywater walks that one in on goal. James will leave it for Jacob Ranson, who appears to have done the swap deal with Coy Prevo, playing D tonight. Attempted clearance, kept in at the blue line by Mogg. Long stretch pass up to the Bees blue line. Lovely move from Connolly, that shot on goal. Priest holds on, and possibly an early sign of how this game is going to be played tonight.
Yeah, well, there's a lot. We've said it already. There's a lot on this game. There's a lot to play for both of these teams at this stage of the season, and yeah, emotions are going to be high, I'm sure, all night. Both teams.
It is a very early playoff game.
Yeah, effectively.
Shot towards goal, blocked by Brendan Baird. Baird is down in the prime position, able to get himself back up. Raiders still with it. Played into the corner by Eriksson. Obviously his first visit to Slough following his recent signing. First and probably only visit, I should add. I think the maths implies that the Raiders and the Bees can't meet each other in the playoff group if both get there. It'd be difficult at this point, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but you both have to catch Telford. I think that's the thing.
Step from behind his own net. Up to his brother Will on the left wing tonight. Shipped ahead. Foot race to the park. One in front. Drop back pass there to Morris. Shot saved by James. Loose in front and finally covered up by James. Morris re-signed for 2024-25 in the week.
Yeah, good play from Vitali. Finds the open man who's just coming in from the blue line. Good, well blocked by James. Didn't quite get the rebound, but managed to cover that up at the second attempt.
Face off to James's left, won by Rose. Monk's attempted shot blocked in front, be chipped into the corner by Nags. Bees with it in the Raiders zone. Morris from the face-off dot, fired towards goal, saved by James, loose in front. Raiders able to clear the danger. Can't clear the zone, just eventually carried out the second time of asking. Milton, big hit attempted by Liam Morris, knocks the puck loose, the Will Stead. Stead moving to his right-hand side. Good back check there by, I think, Prevo on that one as he bombs it up the left wing. Perro shot towards goal, sticked aside by Priest. Nags evades the hit from Milton, which was telegraphed. Knocked around in neutral ice. Prevo again, can't get around Mogg. Mogg able to clear. Long stretch pass from the Raiders to Prevo. Can't get under control. McKenzie tries to bring it away. Leishram, backhanded towards goal, tries to slide it through the paint, no one there in the black shirt. Harkup collects, stopped at his own blue line. Able to take away from Conley. Harkup tries to count forward, Ralph is there to collect the loose puck. He'll carry it up the left wing. Into the zone for Leishram, stopped immediately at the blue line on Kenzie. And Raiders offside. One of the more obvious ones I think we'll see tonight on that one.
Yeah. Well, a good tempo to the game early. Both teams. It's been a little. There's been a little bit scrappy, but both teams are kind of doing a good job of breaking up the rushes so far.
Leishram winning the draw. Gets a return pass, steps around Rossbottom, taken down by Harvey Stead, and no arm goes up. Seen those called this year. Tom not a fan. Bradley dawdles on that one a little bit. Anderson quite happy to jump in on that one. Takes it away from Harvey Stead. Rossbottom gets there ahead of him. Rossbottom finds Ed Bradley on the right wing. Bradley tries to go through a load of skates, finds Balaz towards goal, cleared off the side of the net. Puck cleared, kept it at the blue line. Rossbottom wheels round, finds Balaz, shot from a tight angle, that misses everyone, and will go the length of the ice the other way and let the Raiders get a change. Baird, long stretch pass off the boards that would probably have been offside, and it is signalled by the linesman. Antonov just jumping the gun on that one. Gives the Raiders time. Eriksson to Norcliffe. Played ahead. Antonov back there to clean up. Rose over to Nags. Rose collects the loose puck now. Tries to get through traffic, runs into a wall of black shirts. Raiders will break the other way. At speed, Brandon Ailiff absolutely sends Ollie Nags, finds the trailing forward in George Norcliffe, and that one's blocked by Brendan Baird. Eriksson brings the puck away, poked off the stick by Baird. Dewey towards goal, deflected, falls nicely for Eriksson. That shot swallowed up by Priest. He'll hold on, 4:57 gone.
Yeah, good little kind of shift there for the Raiders. Nice work from Ailiff. That's the Eriksson Leishram going down. It was a nice bit of play from Ailiff just to hold up and get that play off for the to get the shot away from Eriksson.
Bees win the draw. Morris able to get away from Sylvester. Runs in trouble. Cooper there. Stood his ground. Nothing there. Despite one yelp from the bench. Morris able to take it away from Sylvester at his own blue line. Stead over to Smith. He loses out on the puck. Puck takes a fun bounce. Morris wide open, fans on the shot, gets a second chance. Ali Morris just wide of the net. Smith unable to poke it home. All the fun of the doors at the side of the rink. Raiders will go offside. One stick handle too many there from Zach Milton. That'll be neutralised face-off. Yeah.
Just a half chance there for Morris. Had to take the shot quickly as you know there was a Raiders player closing him down. Just couldn't get a clean contact on it.
Fun of those advertising horns. They just fire pucks out into the slot if you're not alert enough to it. Webb wins the draw. Harkup able to jump on the puck first. Tries to draw a man out of position. Dewey stands him up. Raiders the other way. Towards goal, cleared by Mogg. I think Prevost is taken to the ice by McKenzie. Milton, cross-ice pass to Sylvester. Sylvester tries to go to the crease and Prevost. He's held up by Webb. Cooper hammers McKenzie off on the puck. Harvey Stead carries it up ice. Escorted away from any danger zone there by Milton. Back to Webb. Bradley. Down low. Ballas spins away from Prevo. Drops off to McKenzie in front to Bradley. Bradley shot, saved James, and Bradley demolished through the crease there by Prevo. They do a brilliant job of getting around McKenzie, and then loses the handle, is bared on the back check. Shipped into the corner. Ralph wins the foot race. Has to turn away from Ballas and instead turns into Ed Bradley. Bradley to Ballas, falls down for Rossbaum, chance for goodbye. Brilliant save, Ethan James in front. Saw it late, in close, big save.
Yeah, best spell of pressure so far in the first 7 minutes for the Bees. That Bradley there taking a, I think that's the example of, yeah, you take a hit to make a play there, you try to get the shot off and you know you're going to get hit but when you're doing it, and then a good chance as well for goodbye that was well saved by James in the Raiders net.
Raiders win the draw. Looking for the breakout, that one turned aside. Bounces away from Lashram. Tiny with a hit, down low, finds Connolly. Held up by Mogg. Mogg pushed down. Legally, I should say. Antonov gets hit by Dewey as he tries to clear it. Attempted pass into the slot, no one there. Connolly first to the park. Finds Lashram. Knocked loose. Mogg able to get there ahead of Connolly. Doesn't solve much as it's turned over. Back in front of the Bees net. Baird. Gets hit as he makes that pass. Turned over. Anderson shot towards goal. That's wide of the net. This time up into the netting. And that'll be a break and play. Just under 8 minutes gone in the first. Yeah, this game has been really played with a physical edge so far, especially by the Raiders.
Yeah, well, you would expect that with, both of these teams do have guys who can do that in the roster, particularly the Raiders. But also, we've said it already tonight, and we'll say it again. There's a lot of riding on this game, and that physical edge you're going to see. It is playoff hockey 3 weeks before the playoffs.
Bees win the draw. Nags finds Wilstead. He's got room to work at the left wing. Tries to blow past Dewey. Shot through, cross goal. Man hauled down. Bees bench wants a penalty. Nothing doing for the men in stripes. Oh no, there is now. It's a very late call, but they've got one. Back to the blue line. Priest to the bench. 6 on 5 on the delayed penalty. Nags tries to find goodbye. Raiders will touch up. Penalty will be called. 8:24 time of the penalty. Hooking minor coming on the Raiders. See who heads to the bench.
Yeah, I don't know if that was on the initial play that the Bees were asking for, or there was something else in there. It was if it was on the initial, it was a very late call. It has to be said. That is
Jack Cooper.
Jack Cooper in the box for a hook.
2 for hooking at 8:24. Bees power play this year, 41 goals at a 21.24% success rate. The Raiders penalty kill has given up 52 on the year, but successful 72.34% of the time. Balance across to Vitali. Chance in front, deflected off the stick of Prevo. James able to make the save. Quick chance, nothing of real quality there for the Bees on that first attempt. Face off, James is left. Balance able to jump in front of Ralph. Back to Bradley. Goodbye, down low to Antonov. Way back up to Bradley at the blue line. Try and draw a man out. Goodbye. Very static power play so far. Finds Vitali. Good block there by Prevo. Raiders able to clear. Raiders will change all 4 on this kill. Bradley back to collect the puck. Finds Antonov. Cross-ice chance. Vitali. Through the crease. Bounces back to Ballas. Down over time. Ballas again. Not a lot of movement in terms of players here for the Bees. In front, chance. Batted away by the Raiders up in the air. Gloved down by Norcliffe. He unable to clear the blue line. Bradley there to stop it. Antonov behind the Raiders net. Finally down low to Balaz again. Goodbye from the blue line. Feel like they have to at least have a shot. Shoveled down low. Tries to go through the crease. Misses everyone and out the other side. Bradley. Cycled round. Antonov steps in. Shot saved James. Rebound loose in front. Rebound. Still fighting for it. And whistle finally goes. And we'll have a few conversations and a few rugby tackles on Six Nations weekend.
Yeah, as you said, the Bees had plenty of zone time there, but it was a little bit static at times. There wasn't a lot of movement. Yeah, nothing in that. Just pushing and shoving around the net, clearing the crease. But yeah, it was a bit static, that one for the Bees. You've got the zone time, but it felt the Raiders were doing just quite a comfortable job. Yeah, quite a comfortable job of keeping the puck outside until obviously that chance at the end of the power play, which James did a good job to stop.
Well, Baird coughs that one up to Adam Lasham. This could be a chance short-handed for the Raiders. Lasham drops it off the power. Power shot into the glove of Priest just as the penalty expires, and Jack Cooper will step out of the box.
Yeah, good kill there for the Raiders. They'll be happy. Sean Easton will be happy with that one. Like, as you say, he really kind of didn't give up too many golden opportunities for the Bees. And yeah, I think Don Gabai will be a little disappointed that the power play there just wasn't quite as smooth and effective as you would have liked.
He was much better on Sunday, I'll tell you that for nothing. Morris steps away from Milton, under pressure from Prevost. In deep, Raiders able to turn it over. Cross-ice pass, kicked down by Prevost, but only able to find Stuart Mogg. Stepp carries it into the Raiders zone. Cooper able to easily dispossess Josh Smith. Sylvester steps in, left of the face-off. We've seen this move already a couple of times this year. Rebound loose in front. Brethen Priest, big save off the mask. And you've got to think there's a chance there for Coy Prevost as it bounced off the plexi. It went over Prevost's stick, fell to Sylvester again, and Brethen Priest, if in doubt, use your neck.
Yeah, well, you can see the initial shot there. It's just there. Prevost almost is able to bat it in with Priest coming across. He can't make contact, and by the time it's come back to Sylvester for the second attempt, Priest is able to get over and make a pretty smart save, it has to be said.
Doesn't matter how that you keep it out, as long as you do. Bees on the break. Balance across to Gabai. Gabai round the defenseman. Goes on the wraparound attempt. Dom Gabai with a chance. Wraparound. Brilliant from Ethan James. If he's got back to save that, that is fantastic.
Fire up the replay, Nick.
Oh, Gabai's clanged it off the post.
It's hit the post, and it was almost two world-class saves in 2 games for Ethan James there.
Almost. And if you'd like to make a complaint about that not being a save, blame Nick. He was only put the replay on the screen.
I gotta say, sorry, Ethan. It hit the post.
Raiders the other way. Brilliant from Adam Lasham off the glove of Priest and wide this time. Anderson tries to find Lasham on the back door. Nag's able to jump in front of that one and take it away. Balaz takes a hit from Lasham. Not the best one you'll see all night. Ranson collects a loose puck. Holds off Nags. Mix up in the D zone there between Rose and Baird and TJ Anderson. Well, we say he likes this rink. And he scored some wonderful goals, and he capitalises on the mix-up between Rose and Stead to put the Raiders on the board. 12:04 and his 23rd of the year.
Yeah, just a breakdown there for the Bees. As you can see here, Harvey Stead just couldn't get the puck off his stick. Anderson walks in, it's a nice move around, and then on the backhand just uses kind of Rose almost as a screen and lifts it over the pad of Priest. And I was about to say the game has really opened up in the last 3 or 4 minutes, and now we've got the first goal out of it.
Let's call it what it is. It's filth. Raiders into the zone. Unassisted goal for TJ Anderson. Alif drops it off for Eriksson. Gets a nice friendly bounce off the Zamboni doors, but able to spin away from Bradley. Cross goal. Pascale. Chance kicked aside by Priest. Eriksson collects a loose puck. Taken away by Mogg. Vitali. Bees just panicking a little bit on this shift. They need to calm it down. Antonov steps away from Eriksson this time. Gets dispossessed by him. Luckily, Ed Bradley there behind. Bradley through traffic. Ed Bradley in on goal. Snaps a shot. That one off the stick of Dewey and up into the netting. Or it might even be in the glove of James.
I think it is in the glove.
It is in the glove. There you go. Shows what I know.
Well, yeah, like I say, again, not the best shift for the Bees, but when you need someone to calm it down, Vanya Antonov, probably the guy to do it. He's, you know, so cool and collected on the puck, and he was able to get that out the zone and relieve some of the pressure that the Bees were under, having conceded and then being penned straight back into their own end.
Face off left to James Morris, wins the draw. Baird shot blocked in front. Sylvester fans on the clearance. And an offside called on that one.
See, it's quite a smart play that by, is that Sylvester? I can't tell from here, just to knock it offside.
Yeah, got just enough on it to get it over the blue line.
Yeah, got enough on it and knock the player back offside.
The Bees with it, Baird. Milstead, freedom of the left wing. Tries to run himself into traffic and Zach Milton. Morris. Raiders turn it over. Stretch pass up ice attempt to Sylvester, batted down by Baird, centre ice. Smith finds Milstead. Quickly met by two black shirts. And finally brought out the pile by the Raiders. Norcliffe finds Sylvester. Into the zone, tries to find backdoor, chance covered up by Priest. Prevo and Baird having a few words. There's a couple of glove punches. And I do think the Bees are about to go on the man advantage, but Brendan Baird has just been suckered into a penalty there.
I think certainly Prevo is going for his part of that, and I think Baird will get one as well here.
Yeah, they are both going. 13:51 time of the penalties.
Yeah, I don't think you can argue with that one. It takes two to tango.
Both received 2 minutes for roughing.
Yeah, I think that's entirely fair on those calls. I think you can't argue that they both threw some glove punches there. So
nope. Again, I think just with every minute that there's going to go by tonight, if this game is still close, it's just going to be ramped up that little bit more every time.
Yeah, and again, Prevo does the right thing in that play initially, in terms he goes to the net, tries to see if there's a rebound there to get. Baird tries to clear the netminder, and then you get a couple of punches in there.
Ballas, long stretch pass, finds Adam Rossbottom on the right wing, tries to go back to goodbye. That's one of the more easy interference calls I think you're going to see all season. Yeah. 14:03, and the Bees will go back on the man advantage. I think it's Jack Cooper again. Actually, it might be Jake Sylvester. Jake Sylvester, I recognise the fishbowl helmet there. He will sit 2 minutes for interference.
I think it might actually be Tom Ralph.
It might be Tom Ralph. There's more than one fishbowl.
They do have a couple of guys with bowls.
It is Tom Ralph. 14:03. Two for interference on Tom Ralph.
It was a fairly clear-cut one. That, as you say, the puck hadn't got to goodbye, and Ralph. Well, he took his man out. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Lovely hit.
Later hit, just
not legal.
Later hit, just did it a bit too early.
Bees back on the man advantage. Goodbye. Off the side of the net. Raiders able to clear. Another Bee falls over in Bradley. Ballas collects over the blue line. Manages to find Vitali. Vitali to the net. Sticked aside by James. Back to Antonov. Down low. Pass finds its way through to Bradley somehow. Back to goodbye. Antonov, the top of the box. Shot blocked by Ballas, unfortunately. Vitali will take it round the net this time. Again, a bit more movement on this kill, but the Raiders penalty kill unit staying solid. Bradley shot goes, well, let's put it this way, it's 3 points in rugby. Wasn't the best one there. Here it goes. Wow, that one took off. 5 minutes just over to go in the first.
Wouldn't have looked too far out of place Celtic manner, that one.
4. Face off to James's right. Raiders win the draw. Dewey. Around the boards it goes. Milton will hold on to it. Raiders able to clear. Long dump on goal. Priest has to read the bounce and catch it, with Norcliffe bearing down on him. There's apologies if you heard that on the mic.
Yeah. There's some choice language being used about something here, but
yep. Faces off in the neutral zone. I think Norcliffe
well watched that by him, Priest. Those bouncing pucks are never, always heart in mouth moments when that one of those is coming in on your netminder.
Norcliffe wins the draw. Fired in on fired in off the plexi. Mogg from behind his own net. Finds Harvey Stead. He'll take it in the zone. Dump round the net. Finds Harvey Stead again. Backdoor chance. Cycled round. Mogg winds up. Fires through traffic. Into the glove of James off the deflection. 24 seconds left on the Ralph Minor.
Yeah, nice work from the Bees second unit here. Has a bit of a screen in front there. They've got a slight tip, and James does well to watch that into his glove.
It's enough time to get the first unit back on for the final 20 seconds of this man advantage. Bees win the draw. That's the top unit rather than the top power play unit. Rossbottom on the ice as well, so just go straight back to the top line. Finds Rossbottom in front. Shot kicked aside by James. Back to Mogg. He'll wind up, fire, tip in front, save James, and able to cover up the second time of asking. He'll hold on.
Yeah, good work again by the Bees to fashion some chances, get bodies in front of the net, but James, he's seen the puck well so far tonight, and that's another really good stop.
Revo and Baird rejoin the game. 8 seconds left before Tom Ralph does so as well. Everyone loves a fake puck drop. Held up, Bees come away with it. Mogg winds up, fires that one also straight into the glove of James. There's a lot of attempted shots through traffic, I would say, so far tonight for the Bees, but not many of them in high-scoring positions.
I think that one was going wide. I think they were looking for a tip in front, and again, James has just caught that, got the face off and reset.
So, man coming out of the box any second. Bees win the draw. Harveystead sits back to wait for the man to come out of the box. Rossbottom. Back to Mogg at the blue line. He'll go down low this time. Tries to play it through traffic, picked off by Prevo in front. Long stretch pass, just gets out of the zone. That will kill enough time. Mogg will have to play it in, and will go for a change himself. Bees not quite able to get the lines they want out so far. All three imports currently on the ice for the men in white as Lasham signs his way through 2 of them. Vitali able to turn him away. They're all trying to get away from Connolly. Not an easy task. Icing waved off on that one, correctly so, I should add. Nax collects the puck. He'll step away from Anderson and Lasham and then decide, actually, I want to go back the other way. Puck finds his way to Antonov. Up the left wing towards goal. That's all just floated in on net. James easily catches that one. Tick under 3 minutes left in the first.
Yeah, game's been played at a pretty good tempo here. Again, Antonov, I think probably looking for Rose to get a tip on that, but it was just a bit too far ahead of his centre.
Face off right of Ethan James. Won by the Raiders. Dewey. Across to Pascale. Turned over. Nags. Raiders doing a very good job of just clogging up the centre lanes as Ailiff takes that one away from Nags. Had his number for the entirety of the first period so far. Pascale leaves it, and that shot is deflected aside by Baird. Nags collects, and that long stretch pass batted down by Dewey. Chipped ahead, lovely from Norcliffe. Tries to draw a penalty, nothing doing on that one. Losing an edge before it even entered the zone on that. Eriksson, lovely spin, leaves it for Norcliffe. Baird able to take it away from him. Gets over centre ice, dumps it in. Bounces off the plexi. Antonov, wraparound attempt, through on goal. Blocked in front, Raiders clear. Carried out the zone. Sylvester. Finds Prevo. Prevo shot. That one's fired into the glove of Priest. He'll hold on. 1:47 left.
Raiders doing a good job, I think, of just keeping the pressure high on the Bees when the puck's in the Bees' end. A couple of times we've seen their Mags just get picked off as he's trying to exit the zone. It's something that Sean Easton want to see continue for the rest of the night.
He's doing a good job of just taking away neutralising, just keeping them to the left.
Yeah,
and right
obviously it's a small neutral zone here, and it does make it tight if you can play this quite disciplined setup that the Raiders have got.
Raiders win the draw. Shot from the blue line, blocked in front by Will Stead. Prevo into the slot, Sylvester. Puck battle for it. Milton comes away with it. Tries to find Sylvester again. Off skates. Harvey Stead will carry it up ice. 2-on-2 the other way. Harvey Stead leading the rush. Spins away from Jack Cooper. Cooper does an excellent job just taking him into the corner. Will Stead down on one knee. Finds Bradley. Bradley, little toe drag. Block it away by James. And Smith not able to keep that in at the blue line. Offside called. Neutral zone face off on this one. Raiders win the draw. Ransom in his own end, kept in by Baird. Goodbye. Final minute, first period. Down low, finds balance. Back to Mogg. Opens up a bit, and the easiest of shots. Again, Mogg seeming playing for a tip that was nowhere coming there on that one.
Yeah, I think it's one of the tough ones. I don't think Mogg really had another option because of how the setup has kind of broken down slightly for the Bees. So I think you just have to put the puck on net. You get the stoppage, you get the face off, and you can kind of reset and try again.
He's going for the standard play, hoping Goodbye wins the draw back to Ballas, and doesn't work this time as Leishram wins the puck drop. Goodbye. Hit by Dewey, finds Ballas. That pass wayward. Raiders the other way. Anderson, penalty coming on the Bees. Raiders will get the man advantage. James to the bench. Anderson tries to find a trailing Leishram. That's up into the glove of Priest. He does brilliantly well to catch that one. Penalty coming on the Bees. 19:28 the time of the penalty, and it's going to be a high sticking minor on Marcel Ballas. So he will head to the box for 2 minutes or less. Raiders on the man advantage. They have scored 43 goals on the season, 23.76% success rate. The Bees' penalty kill has given up 42 goals, 74.70. Exactly middle of the pack in terms of the league penalty kill this year. A vast improvement from 10th last season. Raiders, Aliff. Wide open chance. Sylvester off the side of the net. Mogg able to push it away. Eriksson. Back to the blue line. Leishram tries to make the pass. Bees can't clear the zone. Milton. Antonov for company. Back up to the blue line. Sylvester shot. That's off the leg of Rose. That will leave the zone. And that will do it for the first period. A first period where the Bees have largely dominated in terms of zone time and possession. But the Raiders lead, thanks to a piece of individual brilliance from TJ Anderson once again. I feel like I've said that every game this year as he capitalises on a mistake at the back end. The Raiders, on balance of quality of shots more than anything, deservedly lead 1-0 after 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. I don't think the Bees will be disheartened with how they've played. I think they'll be disappointed with the goal they let up. That's the difference in this game so far. Obviously, it was a bit of a defensive breakdown, but I think both coaches will be relatively happy with what they've seen so far. And obviously, a one-goal game with 40 minutes to go, still very tight, could go either way. But I think both coaches will be reasonably pleased with that first 20 minutes.
Well, we'll be back with the stats from that period and the scores from elsewhere in the league tonight in about 15 minutes' time. Welcome back to the hangar in Slough where Sandstorm is playing. And at the end of the first period, it is Bees 0, Raiders 1. One goal in that period coming from TJ Anderson off of a defensive mix-up between Harvey Stead and Dan Rose. shots on goal in that first period, just as Bristol works on his magic graphic. I will try and stall for as long as I can. We're 8 on Britton Priest in the Bees net, and 17 on Ethan James in the Raiders net. 5 penalties in that period, a couple for the Raiders. The Bees taking one with 30 seconds to go. They will sit 128 on the penalty kill to start this third period. Elsewhere in the league, after one period, it's the Bristol Pitbulls 2, Hull Seahawks 3. And a delayed start now in Sheffield between the Steel Dogs and the Wildcats. We believe because the Wildcats also got stuck in traffic. We haven't seen any confirmation of it.
It has just started.
It has just started. Well, I am somewhat confused because the clock at Centre Ice on the scoreboard says that it's still 7:27, which is throwing me off.
Yeah. I thought we were doing really well for time, and then
now I'm sad. So on that first period, it was the Raiders have come out playing with a physical edge, and I don't want to say it's dominated the game for them, but they've done a very good job of just disrupting the Bees and keeping them to a style of play that me in particular, I know you've watched last few as well, I haven't seen in the last few weeks. They're being kept to a lot of shots on the blue line, just sort of hopeful flicks on goal and looking for a tip in. Yeah,
I was going to say, obviously the shot count there does show that, you know, the Raiders faced more shots than the Bees did, but I felt like there was a lot of low-quality opportunities for the Bees, a lot of stuff from the perimeter. As you say, a lot of just throwing the puck on net, hoping for tips, or deflections, or a rebound. Whereas you have to say that, you know, the Raiders had 3 or 4 really high-quality chances, one of which TJ Anderson put away, but they had a couple of other really good opportunities in that period. So, yeah, I think they deserve, I think, to be that. I think that one goal lead is deserved for them.
Oh, absolutely.
They've played well so far, and I'm sure Sean Easton would have been saying more of the same in that locker room during the break.
The contrast in styles in particular of just where they're being kept out for shots. I said the Bees floating them in from no man's land, hoping for a tip. The Raiders very much going with crash the net, let's get in Priest's face and try and disrupt everything they do, and it's worked for 20 minutes. Can it work for another 40 as the officials join us back on the ice? The buzzer has gone. Neither team really wanting to join us as Ethan James finally leads the Raiders out for the second period. And Britton Priest finally leads the Bees. As we look set to go, Tom, the Bees can't afford to have another period where you outshoot a team 2-1 and not put the puck in the net.
Yeah, absolutely that. You know, we said the Raiders have done really well defensively, and they have. I think the Bees have got to be doing more to create some really get more traffic around Ethan James, create some better shots. As you say, you've got to take one eventually of these, otherwise it's going to be tough if you're going to be kept to the outside all night.
As we get ready for period number 2, the Bees with 1:28 to kill. Raiders on the power play as we're finally joined by the rest of the Raiders as they join us on the ice. 5 on 4 for 1:28. As referee Tim Pickett calls them in for the start of the second period. And we are underway as the Bees win the opening puck drop and fire at the length of the ice. Zach Milton back playing D for the majority of this power play, obviously. Will collect the puck. Obviously, fresh off a Challenge Cup loss with the Guildford Flames on Wednesday night in Sheffield. Here tonight, a bit different, playing in front of 8,000 in the House of Steel to playing in front of 500 in the hangar. Milton, shot blocked. Collects his own rebound. Across the Leishram. Sylvester towards goal, that's off the glass. Back to Leishram. 3-man in front, chance fired over. I think it's Connolly in front of the goal there. Cycled round, Milton again, that one deflected, just trickles wide of the Bees net. Man taken down in front of the goal as well. He'll hobble back to the bench. I think that's Connolly again.
Yeah, it's Connolly's taken some punishment there in front of the net.
I'll keep an eye on that. Sylvester winning around his own zone. Pass broken up by Rose, but it does still fall to Norcliffe. Fired towards goal, into the glove of Priest. He'll hold on. 6 seconds left on the Balaz minor. We'll see me back. Looks like Connolly is, I think, blocked the shot, actually.
Yeah, I think that'll be a stinger.
Looks like he's blocked the shot, or he's just been on the receiving end of... It's definitely a blocked shot. Priest has flashed the glove at it, and I think he's just caught Connolly on the way through.
Yeah. It'll be one of those that definitely stings. Hopefully nothing too serious.
Bees return to full strength. Raiders with it. Eriksson down low. Tries to cycle it round. Attempted back to Norcliffe. Picked off. Bees can't get out their own zone. It's brilliant turnover again. Norcliffe 2-on-1 chance. Snaps the shot off the shoulder. Priest. High bounce. Batted down. Shot blocked, and the Bees are able to come the other way. Rose flashes that one across goal. That one will leave the zone. Harvey back to collect. Stretch pass, finds Vitali. Drops it off. Ed Bradley, fans on the chance. Rose in front. Ethan James doing Snow Angels. Puck still loose. Foot race. Mikey Power beats and Van Jansenov to it. Sets Jake Sylvester away at the right hand side. Sylvester cuts in. Fires the shot. That one's off the glass. B's able to clear. Vitali over the blue line. Rose again. Tries to find Antonov. Good stick in the lane there. Norcliffe and Milton clean up. Oh, sorry, Power and Milton, I should say, clean up. They're able to clear. Prevo up the left wing. Drops it off to Sylvester again. 3-on-3 opportunity. Sylvester using the man as a screen. Fires that one over the shoulder of Priest and over the bar. Prevo tries to go to the slot. Finds where Sylvester. That shot blocked again in front by a Raider, I think. Attempted pass back to Sylvester, winds up, fires that one into the glove of Priest, and everyone can finally breathe after a slight dash, 90 seconds.
I was going to say, good chances for both teams there. First you had Norcliffe absolutely splitting the defence, and you had this chance here. Just, again, we've seen it tonight with Morris, and now Rose just fanning on that shot in front of the net and not being able to get a clean contact. And again, to be fair, the Raiders' defence and Ethan James do a really good job of clearing the zone there.
Making sure the high danger chances are quickly snuffed out. Bees win the draw, off the boards. Morris gets dispossessed, he crosses the blue line, able to glove it back down, ahead of Dewey. Leisham keeps it out of the corner. Smith is there. Morris and Pascale. Morris beats him to that puck as well. Morris takes on cycle. Connolly back on the ice, I should point out as well. Back to the blue line, shot through. Traffic off the side of the post from Stuart Mogg, I think. On that one, held up in the corner, Morris and Pascale. Able to knock loose around to Elliot Dewey. Connolly chips it away from Nags, sets Anderson away, can't get there, Mogg is quickly dispossessing him. Stead, off the boards, tries to find Nags, Pascale escorts him away again. Turned over, Ryan Webb, in the B zone, runs into traffic. Around the boards it goes, Pascale, again dispossessed by Ryan Webb, keeps it in again, Harry Harker, looks for an option, fired across the zone, Nags down to Webb, can't get there ahead of Pascale. Wrapped up to Connolly, tipped on ahead, foot race between Connolly and Baird, Connolly is going to beat him to it, both players take a tumble, shot fired across from the goal line that time by Anderson. Chipped ahead again. In the corner, Ranson shovels it along to Lasham, turned over. Goodbye to the front of the net. Goodbye on the wraparound attempt again. Ethan James just keeping his left leg planted against the post. Goodbye. That's the second time tonight he's tried to shovel one in on that short side.
Yeah,
and sometimes been unsuccessful.
Good use of speed from Goodbye just to get around the front of the net, and yeah, as you say, James, he's looking really solid in that net tonight. He made, if anyone hasn't seen the save he made against Bristol the other week, watch it. It's impressive, but he just looks on top form at the moment.
Face off blown dead. Raiders issued a warning on that one. I'm not sure why. I'm never sure why.
no, I must confess it's hard. I'm not an expert on face-off rules.
Norcliffe wins the draw at the second time of asking. No one there to collect it. Finally knocked back around to Norcliffe. Ailiff up the right wing. Eriksson. One man to beat. Eriksson snaps a shot. Deflected wide. Rebounds back to Norcliffe. Held up. Goodbye collects. Baird off the boards. Bounces into the glove of Ailiff. Hand pass is called. Somewhat harshly on that one. Face-off will come inside the Raiders zone.
I think the Bees have done a better job in the first kind of 5 minutes of this period of getting to the net and getting the puck in front of James, but he's been equal to the task so far.
Bees win the draw. Shot from behind the goal line this time by Goodbye. Saved by James. Back to Goodbye. And this time, he manages to shovel it home. Tom Goodbye backhands one under the blocker of James. If you don't succeed at first, try again. 25-22. The coach's 37th of the season.
I think it's good. It's good work from Goodbye just to watch. I think it's unlucky. Like you can see James just loses track of the puck as it gets turned over behind the net. Balash finds Goodbye short side, and by the time James has realised where the puck is and got back across, it's in the net behind him.
We'll say it quietly. Dom Goodbye already on his record points total for the Bees. He is 9 away from 100. And there are six and a half periods to go. I saw that. 6.5 games to go.
Okay, 6.5 periods to go. We ended the season this week.
I was too busy being angry at you going, ooh, at me. Goodbye from Balaz, the Bees' first goal. Raiders with it behind the net. Finds his way back up to the blue line. Shot deflected wide. This time Sylvester firing one on the net. 91 for Goodbye on the 86 for Balaz now. Puck finds his way to Milton. Tries to draw a man out. Back it goes to the blue line. Tip in front. That's wider than net. Milton can't get on the end of the rebound. Bees try and clear. Heavy tumble that one. No penalty there. The Bees bench for a moment thinks about it. I do believe obviously Antonov had lost the edge before the hit was thrown. Back to the blue line. Pascale. Down low. Milton working an angle. Shot off the side of the net. Fired around the boards. Sylvester keeps that one in for a moment. Bees are able to clear. And as far as Pascale, they can't get a change in. The Raiders will. Pascale over centre ice. Anderson will beat Harvey-Stead to it. Leishram spins away from one. Tries to go back to Anderson. Falls nicely back to him. He'll go for his own wraparound attempt. Leishram going to try and complete a lap of the circle. Finds Cooper. Dispossessed. Dan Rose collects. Bees finally able to get it out the zone anyway. Not for long. Cooper stops that one dead at centre ice. Anderson wheeling into the zone. Shot fired high and wide. Leishram winds up, fires on the rebound, and that one straight into the chest of Priest. He'll hold on. 7.5 minutes gone in the second.
It's been a good reaction from the Raiders to having conceded that equalising goal. That's a long shift for the Bees' second unit, stuck in their own end.
Here's that hit from Antonov. As you see, Antonov's already
losing edge. Yeah, there's nothing in that. It's a hockey play, but yeah, that was a good shift for the Raiders. To get that, try and get some momentum back, having conceded that equalising goal.
Bees win the draw and are able to clear it up ice, thanks to Morris. Immediately returns serve. Ailiff down low to Norcliffe, bobbling in front of Priest. He jumps on it at the second opportunity. He'll hold on. Face-off will be to Priest's right. One by the Bees. Morris carries it over the blue line, steps around Mikey Power, blows past in fact, also takes on a lap. Liam Morris, brilliantly, puck in front to Will Stead. He fires it wide. Power able to dispossess Stead rather easily. Ailiff Again, turned over, neutralised. It's becoming a theme. Smith carries it into the zone. Tries to find Webb. It was Webb. And that's taken away by Eriksson. Aliff the other way. 3-on-2. Aliff. Slide tackle in front. Raiders still with it. I'd have thought there'd be a penalty on that one, but clearly not. B's the other way. Will Stead fired across goal. That one bounces up into the glove of James Hill. Hold on. Potentially that probably should have been a man.
I was going to say you've seen those called for sure. Brandon Aliff just using we know he's a really good skater, and he uses his speed there to great effect. He's done that a couple of times tonight, and he's causing the Bees problems when he can get that step on behind the defender.
The only thing I can think of why it wasn't given is maybe he's taken that last-minute move away from goal. Yeah, it's the only thing I could think of. I don't agree with it, but it's the only thing I could think of. As that one is fired across from Rossbottom, goodbye, and able to poke it home in the back door. He does find balance. Attempted pass into the low slot, blocked by Ranson. Round the boards, Prevost jumps on the head of Harvey Stead. Odd man rush for the Raiders. Prevost takes it left to right, snaps a shot off the shoulder of Priest. Kept in at the blue line by Ranson. Milton. Brilliant pass almost to Sylvester. And Bees turn it over and go the other way. Bradley fires that one off the side netting. Held in the corner by Ranson. Puck off the Zamboni door, nicely to Milton. He's dispossessed. Rossbottom with it. Spins away, finds an angle for a shot. And snaps it into the glove of James. Milton and Balaz have a few words as they come together in the slot. Nothing in that personally there. That just seemed like a...
Again, a fun bounce off the boards. I think Milton was a bit unhappy. I think Balaz also unhappy. I think it was 50-50 coming together, to be honest.
Milton was unhappy that Balaz had possibly interfered with him. Balaz was unhappy because Milton had just grabbed his stick and decided, no, you're not playing anymore.
I think it's 50-50 kind of tangle up for me on that one.
Yeah. Dewey with the puck, under pressure from Rose as we close on the halfway mark of the game. Connolly, Harvey Stead throws the hit, comes off the worst. Lasham blows past Antonov at the other end, tries to drop it off for Dewey, no one there. Rose jumps in head of it, then immediately coughs it up again. Bees dispossessed once more. Lasham rips it away from Antonov, fires it across goal. That one wide, no idea how that one's been missed. I think it's Anderson again. Moment of brilliance in the first, moment you want to forget there. Goal at his mercy. Knocked loose again, bouncing puck. Bees still can't quite clear it. Connolly bundled down once more in the walls tonight. Vitali able to clear, finds Antonov, gloves it down to himself. Elliott Dewey to beat. Antonov snaps a shot, blocked away by James. Lasham, long stretch pass to Anderson. That one will be icing and will come back the other way.
It's just getting a little bit scrappy with the physicality is ramping up for sure, but it's kind of detracting slightly from the quality of the passing at the moment. There's a bit more consideration of throwing your body than making the play, but again, we said it all night that you'd expect Anderson, to be honest, on the form he's been in, to put that away, but we've said it all night that it's going to be a physical contest with playoff position at stake.
Mogg from the blue line, straight off the shin pads of Aaron Connolly and into the corner. Smith finds Morris. Back to the blue line, Mogg steps up, fires well wide, comes off Dewey. Smith tries to drop it back off for Will Stead, but Dewey right in the way of that one. Connolly able to tip it away from Mogg as he pinches in. He's able to cover on that one. Mogg will get over centre ice, play it in deep. Pascale gets sent by Josh Smith, and then Will Stead gets his pocket picked by TJ Anderson. Anderson at the right wing, stop and go. Blows past Ollie Nags to the side of the net. That one wide. And Bees able to clear, icing waved off on that one. Eriksson. Past one, Eriksson trying to take on 3 Bees at once. Spins away from Nags. Back to the blue line. Shot through traffic, deflected wide. Priest saw it late as it flashed the other way. Down Eriksson again. knocked loose. Nags forgets to take the puck with him, and that gives it back to Eriksson. Eriksson trying to do it whilst under pressure. Possible hooking call should have been made there. Raiders will have to go again. An offside called on Mikey Power as the man jumps off the bench. 7:46 to go in the second.
This is a hit by Smith on Pascale. Solid contact, potentially a slight elbow in there, but I think that's what Pascale was trying to argue to the officials.
And rightly so.
And rightly so, I think, in fairness. But yeah, as we said, the physicality is definitely ramping up, and it does have that kind of playoff feel at the moment. I think both teams know how big the next half hour is for their season.
Milton into the zone. Backdoor chance. Anderson, no one picking him up again. Shot blocked. Puck still loose. Priest all at sea. Milton behind the net. Probably the best place for him if you're a Bees fan at the moment. Held up against the Raiders bench. Bees finally able to bring it clear. Space to work. Brendan Bebb dumps it into the corner. Ross bottom there first. Bounces off the advertising hoardings to Zach Milton. Milton plays it almost into danger there. Ballas was there. Raiders not quite able to recover just yet. Milton able to fire it out of the zone. Off the linesman. Falls nicely. 2-on-2. Leishram snaps a chance on goal. Kicked aside by Priest. Attempt to pass from Anderson back into the slot is picked off. Chipped ahead by Bradley. Ralph. Breakout blocked by Ballas. That pass, no man's land. No one in a white shirt. That one's blocked down again by Goodbye. Ranson cleans up the damage. Leishram over to Anderson. Uses Prevo as a screen. Bees once again the other way. 3-on-2, 4-on-3. Here we go. Chance of goal kicked aside by James Vitale on the rebound. Brilliant work. Tom Relf back there to make the block. Vitale wheels round. Back to the blue line. Chance. Save. James rebound loose. Still loose. Bees poke it home. It's guess who? It's Marcel Ballas. 33-50. And he's Johnny on the spot. They're poking home for goal 48 of the season.
Well, it's not the prettiest goal that Marcel Ballas has scored all season, but the Bees just dig away at the puck. It comes loose, and Ballas just in that blue paint, able to tuck it home. Like they all count. They all count. I think James will obviously be slightly disappointed to have lost that rebound through him, but yeah, like I said, Ballas has scored prettier goals, but they all count the same, and that's a huge goal for the Bees. So in this game.
In theory, that goal should be Ballas from Rose and Bradley, but we'll wait and see if...
Certainly, lots of sticks involved in that one.
Ballas.
That bit was definite.
Yeah. Raiders with it in the B zone. Leishram weaves his way through traffic, draws the penalty. Lovely mitts from Leishram. Draws the... I think clipping call has been called here.
Rose and Bradley on the assists.
I got it right for once. Bees going on the penalty. 34-14 time of the penalty. Dan Rose will sit 2 minutes for clipping, I believe, was signalled there by referee Tim Pickett. All that good work I did on getting the goal right, I'll probably undo right now. Raiders back on the man advantage. Could be dangerous. Sylvester. Oh, it was kneeing called. Definitely that signal though, that they can signal for clipping. So, yeah. Fun one. This is why you never listen to me. At least that's what
you do sometimes.
Nick doesn't, but then he's used to it by now. Bees clear it out the zone. James plays it. So the Raiders power play 43 goals on the year. The majority of them were scored by Riley McRae. Jake Sylvester and Adam Leishram lead the team with 6 at the moment. Connolly. Around it comes Sylvester. Leaves it for Connolly once more. Connolly through the paint. Finds its target. Backdoor chance, Sylvester. That shot blocked. Potential slashing call probably should have been called there as well. Cross-ice pass fired at speed. finds a way back to Lation at the blue line. Down low once more. Bees penalty kill unit being drawn all over the place. Chance in front, covered up, second chance by Priest. 45 seconds left on the man advantage.
Yeah, some good puck movement there from the Raiders, but the Bees again, like the Raiders, we said about the Bees power play in the first period and the Raiders keeping it to the outside again. There, the Bees doing quite a good job of just keeping the Raiders moving the puck nicely around the zone, but not able to get too much traffic in front of Priest, and he's able to cover up when the puck gets into that area.
Raiders win the draw. No one in the black shirt able to jump on it. Bees will come the other way with Vitali. Vitali just dancing around Prevo and Ralph, and will go back and kill some seconds.
Yeah, smart play there from Gianni Vitali. Don't try and force a shot, just run the clock on the power play. Not the penalty kill if you're going to be the Raiders power play. You know what I mean? It's been a it's Friday night. It's been a long week.
Yeah, we're not used to Friday nights.
Yeah.
Raiders into the zone now. Dropped off the power. Turned over again. Knocked out the zone. Still time to set up at least on this man advantage. Ailith up the right hand side. Rose out the box now. B's able to pounce on that one. Finds Rose out the box. Can't quite get under control. Attempt to pass blocked by the on-rushing Lation. Power. Long stretch pass finds Lation. Bounces over a stick. Icing waved off. Mog. Not quite where he wanted it to go. Rose able to collect. Tries to chip it round Ralph. Can't. That one fired in on goal. That one will be icing. 3:21 remaining in the second.
Yeah, good kill there for the Bees, and now with the icing they'll get an opportunity to get the matchup they want and have a set up in the offensive zone. I think it's been a similar period to the first, but I think the Bees have done a better job of getting bodies to the net, and they've obviously taken the chances with the goals, but they've done a better job of creating those chances.
Bees with a draw. Bradley towards goal. That one snapped into the glove of James. He'll hold on and lets the Raiders get a change. And the penalty change from kneeing to clipping. Told you.
Hey, I didn't disagree. Steve Merry disagreed.
Yep. Face off to James's left. Won by Morris. No one in a white shirt. That will fall straight to TJ Anderson. He blows past Nags. Bradley meets him, forces an early shot. Priest can't quite glove it, but able to knock it wide. Bees the other way. Morris at speed, blows past Pascali. Tries to find a man back at the blue line, able to find its way to Wally Nags. Bradley again, looks for an option, fired on goal, and that's gone all the way in! And I think it's a tip from Liam Morris. New contract in the week, and a goal in the Friday. 37-13, time of the goal, Morris's third of the year.
It was definitely tipped, and well, the reaction says it was Liam Morris. It was a big celebration. We see as he just comes across, it's a long way out from net when he gets the tip on it, but
I think it's this angle you'll see it better on. Yeah,
it's a big tip as well. It's massively changed the direction, and with the screen from Stead as well, there's no way that James is going to be able to track that change of direction on that puck.
You could see it better from the hard cam on that one. That is almost going in the corner when Morris tips it.
There was one last night in the Toronto Maple Leafs game which was disallowed for a hand pass before, but where Tyler Bertuzzi did a very similar thing and almost hooks the puck that was going well wide into the net from the high slot, and that's pretty similar to what Morris has done there.
Raiders break the other way through on two. Sylvester leaves it for Milton. Milton's shot snapped on goal, swallowed up by Priest. Morris from Bradley and Nags, I think is what the third goal has gone down as. Nod of approval from Annika up here. At least one of us is listening. Face off to the right of Priest, 2:26 to go. And a very different 20 minutes so far for the Bees. A bit of luck, a bit of skill, and hard work paying off.
Yeah, and you kind of create your luck a little bit with those bounces that they've had on those goals by doing the right things, which I don't, they weren't doing the wrong things in the first period, but they weren't getting those bodies to the net, they weren't getting the screens around James. This period they've done a much better job of that, and they've got the reward for it.
Bees break once more. Vitali to Rose, that one almost chipped over the glove of James. Ranson kicks it back to his goalie. a few words being had with Gianni Vitali. I think whatever the Raiders are complaining about was completely unintentional. Vitali doesn't strike me as the kind of player to maliciously play a hit on a goalie like that, and even then that was a slight tap.
Yeah, there were smiles from Jacob Ranson as well. It was clear the guys away from your netminder. Nothing more than that.
2 minutes to go. Bees, Morris wins the draw. Back to the blue line, and Harvey Stead fired into the glove of James. Two minutes exactly to go in the second. Bees win the draw again. Back to the blue line again. Down low, Josh Smith snaps a shot across the crease. No one there to tip it home this time. Stead loses out on the puck to Cooper. Good battle in the corner. Round it comes. Baird will take the hit from Aliff. Able to shove it around. Tip this time from Will Stead! We said it in the first period that the tips on goal weren't working. And two in quick succession. 38-26. Will Stead's fourth goal of the season.
It took a while, but the strategy for the Bees from that first period is starting to pay off in the second. It's a shot off the wing, and another fairly innocuous shot, but just enough of a tip this time from Stead. Nowhere near as much of a tip as the Morris one, a timeout taken here by the Raiders, but it's just enough to just put the puck through the 5-hole on James. And, well, this is kind of from nowhere. It's suddenly a 3-goal lead for the Bees.
Timeout taken by the Raiders. And I'll say the same line I said on Sunday. It's okay to believe.
You've got to say that the Raiders will be, I think, fairly shell-shocked right now. They'll be pretty disappointed as well, because they've not played particularly badly in this period. The Bees have upped the tempo a little bit and just been more clinical, got the bodies around the net.
38-26, the time and a goal for Will Stead, which does unfortunately mean Annika has to use the Marcus Rashford picture.
I think it's telling that Sean Easton has chosen to use a timeout with a minute and a half to go in the period. I think you just need to settle his team down now and get them through to the period break.
Well, they might not get another chance. Bees once again. Balaz brilliantly taken out by Tom Ralph. James will hold on. Steve Murray talking at a rate of knots on that one. I think Brendan Baird's got an assist on that. I don't know who the second one was. Annika, you're a lot better than me at this. Josh Smith, there we go. Raiders win the draw. Ralph. Steve Murray, bless him, very excited. Nags fires that one into the Raiders zone. Ralph collects. Fired up ice. Turned over once again. Falls nicely to Balaz. Final minute, second period. Ross bottom into the zone. Ralph takes the bouncing puck away from net. Loose pass, Rossbottom just knocks it on ahead. Aaron Connolly collects. Ranson. I was about to say, time for one final setup at least for the Raiders. Antonov to Balaz. Cross ice pass, bounces away from Nags. Connolly, 30 seconds, what can the Raiders do? Anderson fires a shot on goal, pre-saves, cleared by Mogg. Down low, Raiders once again. Nags gets it away from Anderson. 10 seconds on the clock. B's able to clear. Time for one shot. Balaz Vitali looks up at the clock. Marco Pasquale plays that perfectly, and the buzzer will go. And what a 20 minutes that has been for the men in white. We thought it might have been a bit difficult after the first 20 minutes, but 4 goals in the second period have turned this game on its head. The Bees lead 4-1 against the Raiders. And Tom, that was incredible from the home side.
Oh yeah, I don't think that could have gone much more perfectly if you're a Bees player or fan or a member of the coaching staff. You know, that's about as well as you could have drawn it up for the Raiders. I think Sean Easton and his team will be bitterly disappointed by that. You know, they were in a it was only a 1-goal game at the start of the period, but they'd have been saying, we've been playing well, we've been on top here, and just not got the legs. They just don't seem to have got the legs going since the Bees got back into took the lead through that goal from Balaj, and you then, 2 tips in front, and suddenly you're reeling. And yeah, Ethan James, who has been looking really solid all night, couldn't do a lot about those goals. I think that'll be the disappointing thing for Sean Easton and co, is that they have let the netminder down slightly after a very strong first period from him.
Well, we'll be back in 15 minutes to see if the Bees can do enough to hold on and take 2 points here tonight. The score, Raiders 1, Bees 4 after 40 minutes. Welcome back to the hangar for the third and possibly final period of tonight's game between the Bees and the Raiders. Quickly, elsewhere in the league, it is the Sheffield Steel Dogs 1, Swindon Wildcats 4 after 22 and a bit minutes in Sheffield. And after 2 periods, it is the Bristol Pitbulls 5, Hull Seahawks 7. Which, if you're a Pitbulls fan that season, can't end soon enough. Well on track to being the first team to concede 300 goals in the National League. As the officials join us on the ice, second period here, well, it was all Bees. Goals from Gabai, Balaz, Morris and Stead, taking the Bees to a 4-1 lead. Shots on goal in the second period, 14 on Brithen Priest in the Bees net, 12 on Ethan James in the Raiders net. And Tom, shots on goal in the second period, a case of quality over quantity for the Bees.
Yeah, like I say, we said the first period it was a lot of poor quality kind of long range shots. That period, okay, the shot count is a bit closer, or a lot closer as it was, a lot closer, but more quality. You've got the, getting those shots in high danger areas. Got a couple of bounces in there as well, but you kind of, as I said, you make that luck, you make those bounces through doing the right things, putting the puck in the right place, and yeah. They were a lot more clinical, obviously, and yeah, the game is far from over. The Raiders, we know, are a team who can score in bunches, but the Bees have set themselves up well here for a massive 20 minutes in the context of their season.
Well, we can't forget that the Raiders obviously have scored 10 in this rink before on Boxing Day, and if there's anything we know about this Raiders team, especially with the players on it, they're going to come out at the start of this period hitting like freight trains.
Yes, yeah, 100%. They're going to want to look to put up that physical, to put the physical battle at the forefront, create chances. They're going to want to be getting bodies in front of the net, and it's going to be a big period for the Bees now.
Hugh Polton with the puck drop. Raiders win the draw. Ballas able to take it behind the goal. Dispossessed by Ralph. Raiders the other way, 3-on-3. Ballas still down, finally able to get back up. Gabai. Ballas gets back on side and collects the pass from Gabai over to Rossbottom. Rossbottom back to Gabai. Gabai still a chance. Good save, James once more.
It's a big save from Ethan James with Gabai wide open in front of that net.
It was a bold strategy. Raiders the other way. Leishram into the zone. Steps away from one. Blocked down by Priest. And Leishram and Gabai have a few coming together, and there's some glove punches thrown, penalty, arms up. Harvey Stead down in the coach, and you just get a feeling the frustration for the Raiders in particular here has completely boiled over.
Yeah, well, that was a bit of a silly play in there. I think it was Leishram just after the play just sent Harvey Stead's stick pretty much into the netting up here. It was that hard of a slash across. I don't know if that was what was called, but yeah, then there were punches thrown. The gloves were certainly dropped by Leishram, and I think by Stead. We're probably going to get fighting majors here, I'd have thought.
Leishram is in the box. Harvey Stead goes in the box. 40-39, time of the penalties. We will, of course, update you when we know what we are. I say we. We've got Annika up here who actually keeps an ear out for what the penalties are while we jabber on.
Yeah, I think the officials will have a bit of a discussion here around this. This is the
chance at the other end. Gabai lost the handle, got it back, got the shot, and James meets him at the top of the paint.
Did a really good job of tracking that one, Ethan James. Looks like Mr. Poulton is delivering the penalties to the scorer, so we should find out shortly what has been called for that.
Is it just going to be 2-2 for roughing, I wonder?
Maybe, but then there were gloves off, which often means you get those 5-minute penalties in there. So we'll find out shortly.
There's nothing on the clock, and
Well,
we are going
which
5
makes
on
sense.
5.
Which makes sense. It would be coincidental. There was,
Oh.
as we said in the first period, it takes two to tango in those scenarios.
I know. Sometimes I just have to state the obvious.
I must admit, there was the slash in there, I think, from Lation, but I think that was fairly clear that wasn't called, because I don't think there was an arm up until the first punches were thrown. So I think the referees, the officials let that one go, and then it's just going to be the fighting and/or roughing that gets called here.
Oh, Hugh Porton has just been called back to the DJ box, so
Get some clarification.
Yeah. Nothing on the clock. 5 on 5. Face off 2 pieces left. We'll bring in those penalties when we can. Raiders win the draw. Eriksson round bed. Takes Bradley's stick for a ride. Eriksson poke checked away by Bradley. 2 for roughing and 2 for slashing on Lashram. Harvey Stead, you imagine it's 4 minutes as well. Harvey Stead 2 for roughing, Dominic Gabai 2 for roughing as well on that one, so it will be even up at 5 on 5.
Should it be? I don't really understand that, because surely the 2 penalties on Gabai and...
I believe they're going to call it a separate incident.
Yeah. I guess so.
Shot from Sylvester blocked by Mogg.
Yeah. It's one of those. It's one of those where it's a little confusing, because obviously those 2 penalties will expire before Latram's.
Yes.
So there will be a scenario where Latram is in the box by himself if there's a stoppage after 2 minutes, but before 4 minutes.
Quick maths by Tom Graham, everyone.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's just just slightly confused as to why there's not a 2-minute power play in there, but. Maybe that's to come. I don't know.
Raiders with it from behind their own net. Norcliffe looks to start the rush.
It's one of those. I think again, there's been some changes to the coincidental penalty rules over the last couple of years, and I'm never quite sure how they calculate that now.
Turned over behind the Bees net. Morris cross-ice pass. Smith fires it into the corner. Power is there. Raiders. Prevost, the freedom of the left-hand wing. Chips it in instead. Baird is there ahead of Sylvester. Prevost tries to keep that in, does, but Ryan Webb will escort it out anyway. Leaves it for Rossbottom. 5 around the boards. Sylvester once more. Tries to stick on his way out the zone. Does. Loses the handle for a moment. Picks it up around Rossbottom. Balaz with pressure. Prevost, cross goal. Picked off by Bradley. Rossbottom plays himself into a wall of Raiders. He's also chipping it in and going to the bench. Ransom will lead the rush up ice from behind his own net. 1 man to beat. Chips it past Antonov. He's not going to beat Baird to the loose puck. Try and cut him off at the pass. Almost brilliantly done there by Ransom. Shot from Vitali. Not Vitali, sorry. Puck loose. Dan Rose with that one, in fact. Raiders the other way once again. End-to-end stuff. Blown tyre in front for Brendan Baird. Bees the other way. Dan Rose set to the races. He's got to go on his own. Cuts right to left. Flicked through the crease out the other side. Pass tipped ahead by Connolly. Mogg able to clear. Turned over. Smith chips it in. Getting a scrappy start to this third period, to say the least, at the moment. Raiders the other way. Shot on goal by Anderson is blocked aside by Priest. Morris can't quite clear as it's kept in. Nags finishes the job. Norcliffe is there. Loose pass by the Raiders. That bounces through to Ed Bradley. I think that's all of the penalties now expired. Don't quote me on that. As that one is iced. And I was keeping track of it right. All three players out the box. Let's see if there's any more holdover from all of that. Face off, won by the Bees. Baird. We're not going to cry fix up here, but I happen to know that the winner of the 50-50 is sat just to my right as the Raiders fire that one home. Jesper Eriksson, on his first appearance in Slough, goes into the slot and fires that one over the glove of Priest and in. 45-05, time of the goal.
Yeah, it's a lovely finish from Eriksson here. Just cuts inside across the sliding D-man, and that is a lovely finish over the glove. He just walks through and rips that shot. Nothing that Priest can do in that scenario. A despairing dive from the D-man, but yeah, great work from Eriksson.
Game definitely back on. I feel I should say as well. Goal light on at the other end for some reason. Obviously, ignore that. Eriksson from Norcliffe and Power is the Raiders' second goal. Raiders once again Dewey. That shot blocked by Nags' stick. Falls to Milton. Sylvester. How will the Bees respond from the Raiders getting back in this? Back to the blue line it goes. Across to Preva. Fire towards goal. Dewey with the tip on goal. Priest able to cover up, and now, learn by example and all that, the Raiders go for the tip in front and it almost pays off.
Yeah, the Raiders they've upped the tempo in the last couple of minutes. They've created some better chances. And yeah, like I said, getting body to the net there, and the tip is a good save on the tip for Priest off Sylvester.
Bees win the puck. Morris clears the zone. 14 minutes and a bit of change left in third. Lasham and Morris in the corner. Morris able to dig it out. Fired off the plexi. Cross ice past Lasham. Room to work. Offside is called. Aaron Connolly deemed to have jumped the gun on that one. Face-off will be in the neutral zone. Bees clear it up ice. Kicked ahead by Liam Morris. Stead able to collect the loose puck. For a moment there, quickly dispossessed. Raiders the other way, fired into the corner. Lasham. 2 Bees for company. His pass only finds Brendan Baird. High flip up ice there by Josh Smith. Tied down by, I think, Ransom down to Anderson. Anderson stopped at the blue line this time. Conley chips it into space. Harvey-Stead breaks that one up. Webb can't find Harkup. Turnover. McKenzie with a chance. That one's fired wide, unfortunately, for Zane. Harkup takes the hit against the boards. And Raiders all break the other way. Lasham. Lovely move from Lasham. Takes a tumble. Draws the penalty. Shot from the blue line from Ranson. And the Raiders will go back on the man advantage. 2 minutes of tripping called on Ed Bradley. 47-27 time of the penalty.
Yeah, big chance now then for the Raiders in this 2-goal game. You've got one of the Bees' better D-men in the penalty box now for the next 2 minutes, and you've got the momentum having just scored that goal 2-3 minutes ago. So it's a big opportunity now to try and make this a 1-goal game and put some pressure on the home side.
Raiders with it. Norcliffe loses the handle for a second, able to find its way to Ayleth. Norcliffe back to Ralph. Norcliffe winds up, fires through traffic, that one over the bar. Ralph down low to Prevo. Bounce takes it away from everyone. Power picks up the loose puck. Power tries to go through the slot. Bounces nicely for Prevo. Puck still loose. Pushed aside by Ailif. I think that's actually caught Norcliffe quite up high there, unfortunately for him. He is okay. Down low. Power tries to go through everyone. White shirts block it and goodbye. It clears it. Foot race. Ralph beats Ballas to it. Finds Ailith. Raiders quite happy just to take a couple of seconds, make sure they get the right players on. Full top power play unit out on the ice now. Carried in by Milton. Sylvester spins away from Antonov. Milton, room to work, closes the angle down. Big block in front by Stuart Mogg. Back high. Chance in front, blocked by Harvey Stead. Block again, this time gloved by Priest. He'll hold on, 11:16 left.
Yeah, some good movement there from the Raiders, but some, you know, the Bees putting their bodies on the line. A couple of big blocks there from Mogg, and then a good glove save from Priest. But yeah, this is what Sean Easton's going to want to see more of from the Raiders. They've got to start ramping up the tempo, getting the chances, and trying to, you know, keep the puck in deep and get some momentum.
One of created the turnover down low again on this man advantage. Leishram tries to find an angle. That shot bounces up high. Priest tries to jump on it. Connolly is there. Referee loses sight of the puck. And we'll play the blown dead. Blow the play dead even.
Not the first time tonight that bounce off the boards has almost worked out nicely for the Raiders with a man in front. And again, Priest just about does enough to cover the puck.
It's been the thing for the entire season. The entire year, that Plexi has been the friend of every away team that's come to town, not so much the Bees. As Vitali is able to clear the puck up ice. 24 seconds left on the Bradley Minor. Raiders on the attack at speed. Milton blows past Webb. Takes it on the lap of the zone. Back up to the blue line it goes. Leishram. Sylvester. Met by Vitali. Does a good job of just blocking him up for a second. Baird creates the turnover off Milton. Bees return to full strength and clear the zone. Fired up the left wing. Milton drops it back off for Sylvester. Will blow past Josh Smith as he's standing still. Met at the pass by Liam Morris. Creates the turn. Stead met by two Raiders against the Bees bench. Morris comes in for the assist. Fired off the boards. Just gets it away in time. Raiders once again carry into the zone. Connolly gets dumped. Sorry, Norcliffe even gets dumped by Will Stead next to the Bees bench. Cleared up ice. Dewey back there to collect it. Icing waved off. And Dewey blows a tyre. Marcel Ballas will pounce on the loose puck. Penalty drawn. Back to Goodbye. Goodbye shot over. And penalty drawn by Marcel Ballas. And the Bees will go back on the man advantage. Slashing call made. 50-35. Time of the penalty. He who goes to the box, I think. Can't quite see. Once again, the camera's panned away too fast. So Bees on the power play.
Yeah, a little unfortunate for the Raiders there. Obviously, defenseman just blows a tyre behind the net, and Ballas jumps in and makes the play and draws a penalty. But that doesn't happen if the defenseman doesn't lose an edge, which is, yeah, it's a bit of an unfortunate one for the Raiders, particularly in this situation. But a chance for the Bees now to kind of get some control back on the game, which the Raiders have been, to be honest, dominating for the last few minutes.
50-35. 2 minutes for Elliot Dewey slashing. As the Bees go on the power play, the Raiders clear it up ice. Goodbye. Carries it through the neutral zone. Drops it off for Ballas. Cleared well there by Aaron Connolly. Priest way out of his net to play it. We'll leave it for Ed Bradley. Ballas into the zone. finds Vitali. Vitali's shot kicked aside by James. Raiders once again into the zone. The Bees want an offside. It looked close. Bouncing puck as Prevost goes to the net. Milton leaves it for Balaz. Bees can break the other way. Long stretch pass finds Vitali. Vitali 2-on-1. Brilliant diving stop there. I'm going to say it's Tom Ralph. I think it is. He's going back to the bench. Prevost round rows. Prevost kicked aside by Priest. Comes right off the end of his pad. Antonov the other way again. 3-on-2. Now 3-on-1. Antonov under all kinds of pressure. Backdoor chance. Save Ethan James. Raiders again on the shorthander. Norcliffe shot off the leg of Priest. He'll hold on. And once again we can breathe.
Yeah, end-to-end stuff on this power play. A couple of really good short-handed opportunities for the Raiders, but that they've had to be. I guess they've decided they now, with this 2-goal deficit, they've got to be aggressive on this penalty kill and just try and create chances, which has obviously opened up some breaks the other way, some odd-man rushes for the Bees, and it looked like a really good save from James in the midst of that.
Bees go again. 20 seconds left on a man advantage. Stead carries it into the zone. Leaves it for Morris. Stead fired across goal. Will bounce all the way around to Brendan Baird. Baird. Shot takes a deflection. Man in front losing his balance. Ethan James does the gentlemanly thing and just helps hold him up. Can't quite see who it is. I think it's Liam Morris. 7:27 to go. Dewey 2 seconds left on that minor, so power play essentially all but done. Face off left of James. Won by the Bees. Back to Baird. Raiders back to full strength. Shot snapped on goal and straight into the glove of Ethan James.
Yeah, I think it's getting to the point now for the Raiders where they've got to twist slightly and chuck those extra bodies into the rush, which they started to do, particularly in that shorthand, and it looks like they're going to do here again. Leave the man high.
Long stretch pass finds TJ Anderson. Tries to go back. Zane McKenzie brings on Finn in lane. Puck bobbles through. Connolly not able to get a shot away. Mogg will carry it up ice. He's got room to work, Stuart Mogg. Stuart Mogg finds that one off the pad of James again. Raiders break the other way. 2-on-2. Connolly probably takes a bit too long on that one. Finds the shot in goal. Priest up into the glove. He'll hold on. More valuable seconds killed off for the Bees.
It's a good kick save again from James. He's had obviously the second period wasn't his best period of the night, conceding the 4 goals, although again probably wasn't at fault for those 4 goals. He's been really sharp for the most part tonight.
Bees win the draw. Nags over the balance. Gets over centre ice, flips in on goal, and we'll go from one face-off dot to another at the other end. No teams changing on this line. Same lines staying out. Won by the Bees. Nags towards goal, blocked in front by the first man it gets to, and the Raiders break the other way again. Eriksson down to Norcliffe, back to Eriksson. 4 white shirts. This is dangerous if it goes wrong. Luckily, Gabay and Balaz do enough to keep it away from all the men in black. Raiders play themselves into a bit of trouble. Norcliffe able to get away with it though. Harvestead collects it in neutral ice. Gabay chips it into the corner. Icing waved off, and Harvestead back to collect. Leaves it for Bradley. Forecheck starting to come in waves now from the Raiders. Prevo and Milton on that one. Noticing the clock is not their friend as Sylvester carries it into the zone. Shot deflected off the stick of Bradley, off the glass. Baird collects, tries to send it back round to Bradley and only finds Zach Milton. Back to the blue line, shot towards goal, deflected off the skate of Brendan Baird, luckily wide of the net. Prevo takes the hit from Rose. Bradley fires it off the Canadian. Going to go to Milton and Bradley into the goal post. Both okay. Raiders the other way. Antonov chips it round one D-man. Antonov tries to drop it off. No, keeps it himself. And gets dispossessed. Sylvester carries it over the blue line. Finds Prevost. Shot. That one's off the netting, and that is blown dead. 4:44 on the clock.
Yeah, this is a situation now where the Bees just have to play sensible hockey and try and close this one out. Obviously, you don't want to sit back too much and spend the next four or 5 minutes absorbing pressure, but you also can't afford to get caught out too much and go rushing forwards.
Stead fires it over to Morris. Carried in down low. Mock. Over to Nags in the neutral zone. Smith will play it in. Time ticking down. Turned over again by Connolly. Goodbye on the back check there. Kills a few more seconds. Ransom will turn and get stopped at centre ice, as I was about to say go. Cooper. Turned over dangerously there. Balaz can't quite get under control. Cooper bundles the Slovak down. Fans want a penalty. Nothing wrong with that one. Connolly chips it in on goal. Gets met by Ed Bradley with one of the worst hip checks we've seen tonight. The Raiders, they're starting to throw him a bit now. Goodbye fires that one on goal. James gloves it, fires it up ice. Bouncing puck. Harvey Stead plays himself into trouble. Anderson shot fired off the shoulder of Priest. Vitali, first to the loose puck, just clears it out the zone. Anderson frustrated with himself, not scoring on that one. Fair play to him, he's got clearly high standards of himself. Rose, under pressure from Aliff. Heavy landing there for Brandon Aliff against the boards. And then still with Dan Rose. Offside signal on that one, Raiders have to leave it. Antonov chips it ahead. Turned over once more. Vitali can't get that one under control. Roundaboards it goes. We'll keep one eye on Ethan James as we tick under 2.5 minutes to go. Norcliffe chips it into the corner. James has just got staring at the bench, dead-eyed, bounce off the Zamboni doors. Ralph fires that one off the side of the cage. Antonov takes it away from Leishram. Vitali over the blue line. Bundled down. I think the important lesson here for the Bees is nobody bites. Final 2 minutes of the third period. 2 goals, very much in the difficult but not impossible range for the Raiders. It might be impossible now off that penalty, and the frustration, you can see it on a lot of the players on the ice, has finally come to fruition. It's a high sticking call here. 58-10, and Jake Sylvester is going to go to the box.
Unfortunately, I think that's one that Tim Pickett had no choice but to call, and you don't want to necessarily see a penalty the last 2 minutes of a really close game, because that almost decides the game, but I think that was a clear stick in the face of the Bees player, unfortunately, and that's going to get called. It's a shame, because you don't want to necessarily see a game end like that.
It is just 2.
But yeah, I think it was fairly clear cut that there was that stick in there.
The Raiders didn't like it. They felt they were just getting momentum going. The Raiders win the draw up to the blue line of Mog, and the Bees can just essentially just kill this off. Stead. Goodbye, who is also back on the ice. Balance takes the hit from Connolly. Back to Gabai. Down low once more. Ballas tries to spin away from one. Just hold it up behind the net. Back to Gabai. He helps him on its way round to Harvey Stead. Mock. Round to Baz again. Gabai. This is just turning into a giant game of keep away for the next minute and 50. Gabai. Behind the goal. Balaz. We say it's keep away. No one wants to go near them. Final minute. Back to Mog at the blue line. Harvey Stead. Commentary might get a bit dull here if nothing happens.
Like I say, it's a shame. It is a bit of a shame for the game, but I guess that's kind of the nature of it, unfortunately.
Should have said it's Zach Milton with the high stick, not Jake Sylvester. I saw Sylvester throw the show his frustration at the official. Chance of the Bees, they try to shovel one in sneakily on the short hand. On the short side, I should say. James covers it up, 29.9 left.
Yeah, like as you say, it's been a case of just keeping the puck away now for the Bees. It is obviously disappointing for the Raiders that they haven't, had a chance to keep that momentum, maybe get James Pull, have a chance to maybe get back in the game. But yeah, the Bees have been very sensible in these last 2 minutes on this power play. They've just kept the puck moving, kept it away from the Raiders, and they should kill off the game. They almost had a 5th goal there at the back door.
Dan Rose with the chance there, fired wide. Another chance saved by James, and Stuart Mogg's quite happy to take it all the way back behind the Bees net and away from any sort of danger. James out of his net to play it, and the buzzer goes. And we said the important 9 days starts in some fashion for the Bees.
And there's a penalty. Ethan James has just talked himself into a misconduct at the end of the game as well. So it doesn't make any difference to the penalty to the actual game. It's not going to go on the clock, but there may be some penalty points there if that's more than 2.
Yeah, the frustration finally balls over. But importantly for the home side, it's 2 points that takes them above the Raiders and into 7th place, at least for one night. 45 points the Bees sit on now, a 20th win of the year, which is the most the Bees have had in an EPL National League season for a decade. The Bees finally starting to build some momentum. It was said, I saw it actually said on Twitter a couple of weeks ago actually, the Bees have been playing playoff hockey since the middle of February at this point, and it's really starting to show.
Yeah, no, you're right. We said tonight was a bit of a playoff game, and it had that feel to it. There was some chippiness. It was a bit scrappy at times, but it was incredibly entertaining for the most part, despite the scrappiness. There was certainly plenty of physicality. There was some really nice skill as well, some good goals. So it was as games go, pretty entertaining. A good advert for the league. Obviously, I think the Raiders will be frustrated. A poor second period's hurt them, and then at the end they'll probably feel aggrieved on the penalty. It's a tough one. Like I say, it's not necessarily how you want to see a game end with a penalty call in the last couple of minutes, but equally. It looked fairly clear from up here, I must admit.
Yeah, there was not too much complaint. I think it was more of a case of it happened with that length of time left.
Yeah, it's that frustration. It's that frustration because it's the same as when a penalty gets called in overtime. You get that kind of frustration, understandably so. But yeah, I think it's that thing of it wasn't a. I think. One of those penalties where you think, oh, that's harsh. I think it's a completely understandable penalty to have been called. It's just frustrating. As a neutral watching this game for me, it's frustrating because it was really boiling up to be an exciting last 2 minutes.
The Raiders were coming in waves in that last 10 minutes as well.
Yeah.
Particularly,
yeah.
You feel, especially if you pull James,
yeah.
The Raiders are a side that you just feel confident that they can score on the empty net almost at will. It's not a when. It's if, not if, it's when, even. Words are hard.
Yeah. No, it did feel like the clock was against them, but if they got that goal, if they got another one with a couple of minutes to go, we saw it the other week here with Hull kind of almost coming back late on, and the Raiders were in a similar position where if they get one, that becomes a very, very nervy last minute or so.
Man of the match, firstly for our visitors, the Raiders. It's something we both agreed with. It's Ethan James. Obviously, potential penalty at the buzzer aside, fantastic performance. He couldn't do a lot with any of the goals the Bees scored tonight.
No.
And came up big when his side has needed it. It gave him a chance to win this game.
Yeah, he did. He played really well. He faced a lot of shots tonight, and it was a really, really solid performance. He made some big saves in there. He made some big saves in there, and yeah, I feel like it's a deserved man of the match performance. He'll be disappointed, obviously, not to get the win. The Raiders will be disappointed not to get the win, but yeah, I think James had a really good performance, and he seems to be coming into form at the right time.
Well, Raiders fans, if you've joined us here tonight on the stream or in the rink, thank you. At any point this year, obviously we play each other a lot at the moment. There is one more game between the sides next Saturday at the Sapphire Ice and Leisure Centre in Romford. Obviously, please go along as these two sides try and book their playoff spots before the end of the season. And if we don't see you in the playoffs, more than likely we won't at this point, have a good summer, enjoy the rest of the year, enjoy Coventry if you're going, more importantly. Shirt off the back tonight, which is Liam Morris. And we'll quickly move on. And then we'll have Ethan James is mask.
I think kiss and make up a little bit with the officials there. There's a smile. I think, that frustration at the end boiled over a little bit, but
I don't think it's so much at the call itself. I think it's the night in general.
Yeah, it's a frustrating night for the Raiders.
Man of the match for the Bees. I'll leave this one to you. You picked it this evening. He just presented his shirt off the back. It's Liam Morris again.
Yeah, I thought he was, that you could have given it to a few players. It was a really, really good performance for the Bees. I just felt that obviously he took his goal superbly with the tip in the third period, and I just thought it was a real energy. He put in a real, his energy on that third line made a massive difference. I think that line changed the game in that second period. Sorry, they upped the tempo, they upped the physicality for the Bees, which is something that they maybe were lacking in the first. And yeah, a really well taken goal for him as well. It was just a really solid all-round performance.
Liam Morris has gotten quite used to launching hats into crowds this season. And again, signed on for 24-25 already, one of the three names announced. And the Bees will go for their lap of honour. They're rushing it and going quickly tonight. Obviously, they've got an early coach in the morning. 5 games in 9 days, like I said, and 1 win to start it all off. They go to Solway tomorrow, Leeds on Sunday. Whereas if obviously they can get 2 points out of those 2 games, they'll be laughing. 4 would be perfect. And then it's back here next Sunday. Tom is joining me as well when we welcome the Solway Sharks to town for a Sunday night that could be massive for both teams. 5 o'clock face-off. The potential for the Bees to book a playoff spot, for the Sharks to keep their season alive for at least another 6 days. Tom, thank you for joining me as always. We'll see you back here on Sunday.
Yeah. We said, it's another big game for the Bees. It's a big, as you say, a big 9 days, a big few weeks, and yeah, like I say, it's going to be a huge game for both teams next, particularly regardless of what way the result goes tomorrow.
Well, we'll be back here regardless. 4:15 live on the stream. 5 o'clock for face-off. Producer Nick, we'll see you. Good night. You can place your little button now.